A good forecast is the basis of all business activities. Forecasting helps us determine the demand and also helps us plan on how to meet this demand. This applies to business, marketing, and other activities. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the FORECAST.ETS Excel function to create a simple and yet very robust and accurate forecast. The FORECAST.ETS function in Excel is used for forecasting future values based on available historical time series data. The function requires 5 pieces to make it work. We call them arguments. We need a target date, a set of values and date stamps to go with them, and the function itself requires us to tell it how it wants us to adjust for seasonality, whether we do or we do not, and also if there's missing data, how we'd like to handle that. In this example, we have a set of sales data or profit data from 2013 through 2023, and we are asked to project what the sales values would be and what the resultant profits are likely to manifest for the years 2024 through 2028. Well, if we plotted the actual data from 2013 to 2023, we see the following chart. It's clear if we eyeball it that the chart shows increase in profit over the years, so we would like to extrapolate that trend into the future and see what 2024 through 2028 may look like profit-wise. Let's see how that is done. One of the simplest forecasts in Excel is called a trend line analysis, and that simply draws a line through the data that best represents it. So it's easy to see that if we drew that line on the chart in front of you, that is the dotted line, it's extended into 2028. So if we took the year 2025, for example, on the x-axis and drew a vertical line to intersect that trend line, and then from there we can project a horizontal line onto the y-axis to see what the profit is going to be at that time. This is easy, but you can see that it may not be as accurate as you'd like because it's a straight line, and it didn't really address the fact that there seems to be an up and down trend, a little bit of wobble in the original data that we must account for. So is there a better way to do this? Our task now is to use the historical data with the green background color and use it along with the FORECAST.ETS function to project what the future holds as far as profits starting in 2024, that is cell B15. And we're going to make sure that we put that forecast into cell C15 and then carry the calculations down below. The function FORECAST.ETS is based on an advanced exponential smoothing algorithm, and it takes into account the displayed variation in historical data and forecasts accordingly. So if you look at the chart, you see there's some ups and downs in the profit. Well, FORECAST.ETS, unlike the trend line linear analysis, is going to take these into account and project them into the future. Well, now is the time to start entering the FORECAST.ETS formula in cell B15. To do that, we start with equal, as always, FORECAST.ETS, and open parentheses. You'll notice that Excel gave you a little bit of hint of what to do next, which is the target date, and then you got to enter the rest of the arguments. An easier way to see this is by pressing Shift and the function key F3, Shift F3, and you'll see a function argument dialog box that opened up, and this dialog box simply makes things easier for you to enter. So the target date is the year 2024, and that's cell B15. My next value is in the next field, which is the values, the historical values. So I will go ahead and select those, and I'm going to press F4 to make sure that I'm doing an absolute reference copy, meaning that this array does not move. So when I copy my formula, I'm always referencing the same data. I'll do the same thing for the timeline. And then move on to seasonality. Seasonality, I would like to enter 1, means that Excel will automatically detect any variations in the data, the historical data, and reflect that into the forecast. Let Excel do the work and select 1. If you select 0, you have other options. And completion date, I will also enter 1, meaning if there is any missing data, in this case there isn't, but if there's any missing data, Excel will try to average the array and fill in the missing data. If you put 0, well, Excel will put zeros. So now we've filled all 5 arguments. Let's click OK, and here's our forecasted value, $1,224,113. So all we need to do is copy this formula down to the end of the forecast period, and we're done. And you'll notice that we do have a extended line into the future, and that becomes the basis for our forecast. So what did we learn so far? Trend lines are good, they're easy, and they generate reasonable forecasts, but they are not necessarily accurate. Using a function like FORECAST.ETS is a robust way of making a function that gives you good seasonally adjusted forecast, and it's much better than just a simple trend line. The FORECAST.ETS function has 5 arguments, or 5 places to put your data in, and the FORECAST.ETS function accounts for historical fluctuations due to seasonality. You can ask Excel to do that automatically by entering 1, or you can enter these seasonalities yourself. The choice is yours.